Okay, let's continue to build our concentration game. What we have so far is we have our game grid and we have back images on everything. But now what we need to think about is how am I going to assign one of my different pictures to each one of these. All right, and so those are going to be what we put in this array called choices that we set up. Now, even though choices is initialized right here, I'm going to reinitialize it. We're going to be working in our start game function. So this is the end of start game. All right, so I want to now set up the pictures for this game. So I'm going to kind of reset this array just because remember if we click the button again and restart, we're going to have to start all over again. So we're going to do this. Now, what I want to do is randomly pick, maybe shuffle these pictures up and then pick like the first 8 of them. So I need the ability to shuffle these. So we're going to make a quick little shuffle function. There's a lot of ways to do it, but this is a pretty easy one. So down here at the very bottom, and I'm going to just walk you through it. So this is a function called shuffle. I'll pass it an array, and what I'm going to do is walk through every element of this array, and I'm going to pick a random number from 0 to the length -1. So that's going to be second. And the random number generator gives you a number from 0 to 1, basically a decimal number. So let's say I have 10 words, length is 10. Then if I take some number less than 1 and multiply it by 10, I get some number less than 10. If I then take the floor, then that will give me a number from 0 to 9. So this is just some standard JavaScript. Then I'm swapping those, what's in first and second. So it's just an easy way to do a shuffle. And when you swap, you have to have a third variable. Think about a swap if you had a cup with coffee in it and a glass with milk in it, and you needed to switch and put the milk in the cup and the coffee in the glass, you would need a third container. And so that's what temp is. So that's all that's doing there. So now let's see if this shuffle is working. So what I'm going to do, first of all, and the reason I want to shuffle is because I'm going to take the first 8 pictures out of this array. So I want to shuffle them up all the time first. So remember we have in our array, we're going to shuffle our pictures. All right, let's look at them and see what we get. Console.log pics. Let's see, now remember, let's look at what we have, what they originally are. So there's what they originally are. Let's go over here, refresh. Okay, so do you see, originally the first picture is C3PO, and now it's different. So we can see that those pictures, those elements of that array have been rearranged. All right, now what I need, as a matter of fact, I'm actually going to, I want to put this stuff at the beginning because we're going to be able to see if this works. So instead of putting this at the end of start game, I'm just moving this code to the beginning. Okay, so our code that is actually showing the image is under here. All right, so now I'm going to pick the first 8 pictures, assign each picture twice, twice two choices. Okay, so let index equal 0. That's when it's going to allow me to walk through. While index is less than 8, because we have 8 pairs, add the next picture twice to choices. So choices, an easy way to add something to an array is with push. So pix index. So when index is 0, then we're going to push the what's in position 0 onto that array, and I'm going to do it twice. And then we're going to shuffle them afterwards. All right? And after this, we need to increment index to move to the next one. Now, to see what we just did, console.log choices. Okay, so let's save all, refresh. Okay, so let's look at what we have. So notice this is the shuffled up set of pictures. And so here is choices. So you see the first picture, Vader, we put it twice. Stormtrooper, twice. So these are going to be the pictures that are going to go here, but we need to shuffle them up, right? But you'll see every picture is here twice, and it's the first 8. So we're not using all these. We're using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way down to old Luke, okay? So far that looks good. So now let's shuffle these choices. You can see why it was useful that we made a shuffle method. So we're going to shuffle choices. Right? And they're, you know, sometimes they shuffle sort of good. I see a lot that are right next to each other. You know, this is not a very sophisticated shuffle that I'm doing, so we might want to shuffle twice. Okay, now to see how this is working, so instead of assigning this back picture, to show you how we can see what images we have, I'm going to say my image dot source equals, I need pix, I have to concatenate this on top of it, plus choices I, right? When I is 0, I'm putting a picture on position 0. When I is 1, I'm putting picture 1 there. So let's see what we have. And I'm having an error. It's choices. All right. Or look, I'm got to be consistent. What is it called? It's called choices. So I have a typo there. There we go. All right. So do we have 2 of each picture? It looks like we do. Now, obviously, we're not going to see these, but what we've just done is verified that we have populated this, essentially populated it with 8 pairs of pictures. Now remember, what we're actually going to show is the back, and when we want to check for a match, we'll actually just be checking what is in that element of the array. But what we've added here, we've done nothing to our check match. We added this shuffle function just so we're able to take an array and shuffle the values that are in it. And we took our pictures. Remember, we've got pictures, which is everything. Choices are the ones that I'm using here. So we took our pictures, we shuffled them, we took the first 8 and put 2 of each one into this choices array, and then we shuffled that a couple of times, And now, just so we could see them, we have this. So this is not going to be our code. Our code is going to be showing the back image. But when I click, here's what I can show you. If I click on a picture here, let's do console.log. That's my ID. I think I can do choices event.target. I may have to turn this into a number, but let's just see if this works so we can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so when I click one, there we go. The picture that's associated with this box is Chewy. The picture that's associated with this box, right? So when we're going to be clicking these boxes, we are going to be comparing the picture file, the file name for that picture that's associated with it in order to determine if there is a match, right? So that's why it's very important to know what that ID is, and it's very important that those IDs are connected along with the values that we have in this choices array. So in the next video, we'll start thinking about how to actually check for a match.